nothing but respect for these competitors. Make no mistake, I am cocky in prediction. I am confident in preparation, but I am always humble in victory or defeat.
I say I'm everything and more, and you can't tell me any different. You knew rap is cool, but you fought from competition. The best white rapper to emerge since 9/11. Semi-suicidal beats, I get them all into heaven. I got some poet demand, I'd even pull for your man. Although we don't like my music, his girl's a hell of a fan. Today's Mike Jordan, but I'm fading from humble. I slam my chest like Harambe to gain respect from the jungle. Said I'm the clutch man, I'm clutch man. Feeling like the jump man, flinching at legends left.
Hey everyone, welcome back to JP Weeklies. I'm Josh Perry, and this week I'm going to be walking you through the program I use to strengthen my legs and my knee to protect my knee against my ACL injury from the past. A lot of people ask me what workouts I do to keep my legs strong for BMX and just off the BMX bike, so I'm going to bring you into Athletic Lab. We're going to meet Coach Matt Hunter again, and we're going to walk you through some of the workouts I do, and hopefully you guys can take away something and get your legs strong and protected and have fun.
I swear, whenever I drop these straightforward songs, these life songs, it's just therapy for me. And it just so happens that a lot of my dopest supporters are in love with the craft of my therapy song. So let me check in and let you know where I'm at.
Yeah, I fight the days and nights in city lights. White girls and purple sprites. Mirrors say they ain't your friend. I hate the fact you always right. You really got my back. I'm master with the time, and with these Megan goods up in my face to check the paperwork I'm signing. When I need a moment, I'll still take it to the sea. Malibu around the rich, but Cake's the place I wanna be. Lots can happen, I'm just saying. Drop these raps and keep on praying. People asking what's the deal. Independence, keep it real. I ain't signing over checks, keeping notes to feed my back. I ain't giving up my rights, I'm just racing around the track. I ain't weekly dropping shit, enjoy my...
So I never used to be a fan of stretching, but stretching, foam rolling, and mobility stuff definitely helps open up my hips and loosen up my quads, and it's all just a holistic approach, so everything's connected. But the next thing I like to do before I get into actual workouts or exercises is loosen my knees up with the row machine. It just helps loosen my knee up from being stiff in the muscles and just gets everything flowing nice. So I like to do about 50 calories or 3 or 4 minutes on that, and then get right into my routine.
Hey everyone, Coach Matt Hunter here, coming at you from Athletic Lab. I'm one of the sports performance coaches here, and Josh and I have been working together over the past 9 months on his training as a BMX athlete, and also putting together programming that you guys will be able to take advantage of as well. So when Josh started training with me, one of his goals was, because he was coming off of an ACL injury and surgery, to protect his knee and not get injured again. So in addition to performance, it was also the health side of this was one of the considerations. And a lot of you guys have been asking online about ways that you can implement this for yourself, or what Josh has been doing in his training. So we're gonna go through some considerations that I take today when dealing with anybody who is either coming off of an ACL injury or potentially at risk for an ACL injury. There's a ton of ongoing research about how we can prevent ACL injuries, if we even can do it, but the best approach to possibly take. There's 3 considerations that I always take, though, that I want to share with you guys for what we currently have used with Josh and what's the most up to date. First off, being stability. So a joint being strong is only going to take us so far. It also needs to be stable. And that stability, the simplest way we're going to attack that in the gym is unilateral exercises. In this case, unilateral as opposed to bilateral means on one leg instead of on 2 legs. So some examples you'll see here are going to be single leg squats, cool, single leg deadlifts, or somewhat pseudo unilateral exercises such as split squats. That's good. That's really good. Or lunges. A second consideration then would be landing mechanics. So the actual power output of the lower body, if we're going to be talking about a pump, getting higher off of a jump, that's going to be things here in the gym like box jumps, things like squatting, exercises like that. But just as important, and probably in this context more important, is how you land. So say you're doing box jumps. How are you landing on the box? Are you landing in a way that's actually going to be in a stable position? you landing in a good squat, or are you landing in a bad position with knees caving in? When you're actually moving off of a box and doing exercises that are more advanced on the ground with eccentric strength, when you're doing hurdle hops, when you're doing single leg jumping, how are you landing? The stability in landing specifically is going to be extremely important. Almost never you see someone injure the knee or specifically the ACL on a concentric, which is jumping. It's almost exclusively on the eccentric or the landing component.
What's up, John?
Hey.
How you doing?
How's it going?
We call this the nose angle.
I like that. That's a really nice shot.
All right, guys, so that was some examples of stability exercises you can do, and of course you can build strength on them by holding different weights and kettlebells, things like that, or increasing the weights and increasing the heights, but Matt's gonna explain a little bit more on that.
Yeah, single leg strength a lot of times is underestimated. Purely from the performance side, the research does not show any statistical significance as far as double leg to single leg training. Arguably, you can say that a healthy mix of both is probably the best way to go. That's the way I approach it. But let's say you're purely looking at your single leg strength. Purely at the point when you're looking at single leg strength, don't be afraid once you have the exercise technique down to go ahead and load that up. So what I mean by that is if you're struggling to keep your knees stable on a split squat, get that in check first. But once you're able to, you can go right to a technical max. So what I mean by that, maybe with no weight, split squat looks great. You add 20 kilos, still looks great. 30 kilos, start getting the knee moving around a little bit in positions we don't necessarily want. Back off to 20 kilos. Basically, loading is as heavy as you can while still maintaining good technique. You can really get strong in that. If you look up any videos from the guys over at Mike Boyle Strength and Conditioning, you'll see some really impressive numbers when it comes to single leg strength. Now we did mention bilateral, so double leg exercises for strength as opposed to just single leg. So the big sagittal plane movements on two legs, things like squatting and deadlifting, are still gonna be where you're gonna get by far the highest output compared to a single leg variation. So strength is not something we're gonna neglect, and particularly max strength. So for that, the choice is gonna be simple bilateral movements, squats and deadlifts. The same concepts as far as stability are going to apply here, let's say at the knee. You want the knee, hip, and ankle still in alignment as opposed to the knees moving around or particularly falling in towards each other. But as long as those are in check, the posture is good, don't be afraid to load up and get strong on these.
Yeah, I fight the days and nights in city lights, white girls and purple sprites. Mirrors say they ain't your friend, I hate the fact you always right. You really got my back, I'm master with the timing. With these making goods up in my face to check the paperwork I'm signing. When I need a moment, I'll still take it to the sea. Malibu around the rich, but Cake's the place I wanna be. Lots can happen, I'm just saying, drop these raps and keep on praying. People asking what's the deal, independence, keep it real. I ain't signing over checks, keeping notes to feed my back. I ain't giving up my rights.
And the final consideration I want to go through is thinking about other joints in the system. So if your hips or your ankles have issues, whether that's from an old ankle injury that then you can't move as well as you want to, or potentially hips are tight or not stable, it very much can be individual, but the whole system is important, all the way from the ground up from there. So a lot of times we can fall into the trap of just thinking about the knee, but not thinking about the whole system. So making sure your ankles are healthy and in check, making sure you've gone through proper work for your hips as well. Everything is a system. But if you go through those three considerations, that should get you in a pretty good starting spot for making sure you're taking care of your knees, specifically with ACL, but for knee injuries in general.
All right, so that's basically the workouts I do with Matt, and then I do on my own now. I'm not gonna give you reps and weights and numbers because that's gonna change between everyone and your goals and everything, but a good general place to start is just do a couple sets at a couple reps and just see how you feel, and then if you need to increase your weight or increase your amount of reps and stuff like that, you know. But I'd say the best bet would be find a gym, specifically a sports performance gym, get a good coach to get dialed in for the first few weeks, few months, something like that, figure out your flow and your goals, and then go from there. So with that being said, I hope that helped out. I hope you guys learned some stuff. Feel free to reach out, ask some questions. If you really want to know exactly what I do, I can share it privately with you, but I'm also going to suggest you definitely go reach out to a sports performance coach. train healthy, train smart, and most beneficial to whatever your goals are. So now it's time for some BMX, so we're gonna go ride and call it there.
My music keep me on lonely, but what's a friend in the end? I never learned to grow dependent or conform to these trends. I'm on.
And just to clarify / bust shots real quick, when you see me, when you hear me, it's organic, it's authentic. I'm not an artist that had to put on a facade to make a marketing campaign or something work, you know? I just put who I am and my life experience into an art form, and the world bought it, you know?
Hey, sit it's the coastal nights with brown drink, beach views and long things, old friends and bad talks, good vibes and no losses, two coasts and night flights, red eyes with red eyes and females you don't wife, and my day is your night, your dream is my life, depending who I'm speaking to. You care she got a man, depending who I'm sneaking to. I love the risk and adrenaline pumping is living. 100 years ain't worth all the time that I've given. I've grown choosy and reclusive with meetings I take, cause fuck your vision if your first question is what I make. What I make, you wanna know, no for real I can say it. But my question, the worth of my brand is can you pay it? Fucking investor who think that they helping roll and blow. We hit 1 million plays a month, we got a global flow. Hey, don't ever question my drive. I've been fighting alone alive since the birth of my brand has arrived. We on.